Hi folks, it's William with Quarantine Studio, and I just wanted to shoot a quick video for you on this upcoming release. Now this is Conan the Brutal, and you may recall an inbox review that I did of the pre-painted version of this particular guy. Well, I'm happy to tell you that we will be offering this in kit form. Now this is going to be a little bit different than our earlier offerings. You note that all of our pre-paints are both offered as painted and unpainted. But even the unpainted were assembled for the most part. You may have to put the person on the base or something like that, maybe put an accessory on. Well, this time it's going to be a true kit. And so what I want to do is shoot a video of the parts breakdown for this particular kit. And I think you're going to be really impressed. The parts fit with hardly any seaming whatsoever, and there are certainly no mold lines on it. They have been cleaned up from the factory. So this is an actual pull from factory molds. You'll be able to see that. You'll see the quality of it and see that, once again, there are no mold lines for this. You may have the tiniest bit of seaming to do, but that's about it. And a little later on, I'm actually going to paint this rascal. So I'm going to do a series of videos of the paint up of this Conan Brutal kit. Alright, so to begin with, we have Conan himself, and this piece is tremendous. I'm going to try to pick this up and keep it in camera view here so you can see this. I mean, he is massive, and just tons and tons of details, all keyed up and ready to go. This particular one has been primed. There's a little dust here I'm knocking off of it, but this one has been primed so that you can see any seams that might be in place here, any mold lines, and there aren't any. The guys at the factory are doing an awesome job cleaning these things up, and it's just absolutely incredible. So there's absolutely no cleanup involved. You simply take it out of the box, wash it, and start painting. So that's him. That's the main part here. And let's take a look at some of the other parts. Next, you'll have the base. Now the base is littered with tons of debris, some fallen warriors here, and I mean, it's just really nice. Nice clean bottom here, nice flat, and we've got parts here, big keys here. You can see where his foot's going to go, and then this column piece here. So let's set that over there. And speaking of the column, here's the column piece here, a nice huge key. It's very easy to identify how that's going to fit, and it just drops right in. Beautiful. Next we have a little, I guess a cod piece here, if you will, a little piece of armament, and it's going to drop right in here, and it just does. I mean, it just falls right in. No room for error there. You can't mess that up. We have a couple of horns for his helmet here, and I do believe these have a particular location, and it'll be very easy to figure that out as soon as you start to put it together. They don't fit on opposite sides, so they'll only go one direction. Next we have the sword and scabbard. This guy will come, and it'll most likely have this pin in it already for you, along with a huge key. This little guy, let me take his horns out here, is going to sit right here on his side. There's a nice spot right here for this, and it just drops right in there. Once again, no seaming, no work needs to be done, no putty work. Honestly, it'll just go right in there and look beautiful. Next we come to his hands. Now the first hand here is the hand that holds the shield, and in this case we modified this a little bit so that it'd be a little bit easier for folks to work with, and also make it a little more sturdy. You're going to notice on here there's some little details, and it almost looks like there's a seam line here, and I don't know if the camera is picking that up, but it is not. So his hand is bound, and he does have kind of like a glove on over this to help protect his hand. So that is a full glove, and that's just the seams of the leather there. But then we've got this huge plate here that actually goes into the side of the shield, and then there's a pin on the shield, and you can see how big that pin is. And then look at the pin for his hand that goes up in his arm. I mean, those things are massive because you need that much of a pin here to fill this up and give it some strength. So plenty of space there for that. This might be the one area where you may need a little bit of backfilling here. As far as a little bit of putty there would probably go to help fill that in. But this is, once again, a gloved hand, so there is supposed to be a natural seam there, and we tried to cut it along that line. So there's that. Then you have the shield itself. It's beautiful. It's really battle worn here. It's really nice, and it's got a good size to it. You can see the size of my hand there compared. The shield pretty much takes up, is a little bit larger than the palm of my hand there, and you can see the large pin and then this little pin here. Once you put these two pieces together, they made up perfectly. Little to no seam work in here. You might put a little seam work in here, a little putty around that to close up those seams. But the arm, honestly, I don't think you need anything in there beyond the arm where it fits into the shield. So just a little bit there. And that you may not even see at all, because once again, this is going to be right up against his body. So we'll leave that up to you guys. Put the shield up here. And then finally, we've got Conan's weapon of choice here, the huge battle axe. Once again, a gloved hand. This one is actually a little more armored here. We've got the little knuckles there, that sort of thing. And then once again, it's just going to slide right up in here into his arm. And you may have just a little bit of seam work here to do, but once again, that's supposed to be a natural seam in there, so maybe just the tiniest bit of filler in there to make that joint just perfect. So very little work, to be honest. I mean, we're modelers ourselves, and so we like modeling, we like painting, but there is an art to this, but I don't think this is going to be very difficult for anyone to achieve professional looking results. Well, that's it, folks. Conan the Brutal as a model kit, and it's going to be brought to you exclusively by us here at Quarantine Studio. Now, look for this a little later on towards the fall, maybe early fall time frame. And if you take a look here on YouTube and also on our Facebook page, we'll certainly keep you up to date with all the latest information on this guy and all the other really cool stuff we've got coming your way. Now, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already, and keep track of me building this guy out and painting him up as a faux bronze. Yes, that's kind of a thing for me now, is to create these faux bronze. I love them, and I think it's an awesome technique, and I'll show you exactly how I do it to get that real bronze look.